Most people spend years waiting for life to change. They wait for better opportunities, more money, better timing, a lucky break. They believe success belongs to people who were born different, smarter, stronger, or simply luckier. Yet there is a hidden truth that many people never discover, and by the time they finally understand it, years of their lives have already slipped away. The strange part is this truth feels almost too simple to matter, which is exactly why most people ignore it. A single shift in the way you think can quietly change the direction of your entire life. One shift can change the way you see problems. One shift can change how you react to failure. One shift can change the decisions you make every day, and those decisions slowly shape the future waiting ahead of you. Here is something most people never realize. Two people can face the exact same struggle and walk away with completely different lives. One person becomes bitter, tired, and ready to give up. The other becomes stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever before. The difference often comes down to one thing: the way they choose to think. Scientists and psychologists have spent years studying human behavior, and one surprising discovery continues to appear again and again. Your mindset influences far more than emotions. It affects confidence, discipline, resilience, relationships, and even the opportunities people are willing to take. In many ways, the story of your life begins in the quiet conversations happening inside your own mind. Still, there is something even more surprising. Many people spend their whole lives trapped by beliefs they never consciously chose. They believe failure means weakness. They believe struggle means life is unfair. They believe setbacks mean the dream is over. Slowly, without realizing it, these thoughts become invisible walls, walls that quietly shape every decision they make. The frightening truth is that many people stay stuck for years because of a mental habit they never even notice. Today, we are going to uncover the one mental shift that changes everything. You will learn why some people rise after failure while others stay trapped in the same cycle for years. You will discover the hidden reason pain transforms some people into stronger versions of themselves. You will also learn a powerful way of thinking that can help you build confidence, change habits, improve relationships, and face challenges with a completely different perspective. Stay with us until the end, because one lesson near the end of this video could completely change the way you look at your hardest moments forever. Welcome to our channel, where we explore the ideas that can transform the way you think and live. Subscribe and join us for more powerful lessons designed to help you grow, become stronger, and build the life you truly want. Many people spend their lives stuck in a place they quietly promised themselves they would escape years ago. They wake up every morning carrying the same stress, the same frustration, and the same silent disappointment, hoping something will somehow change. Deep inside, they know they want more from life. More peace, more success, more confidence. Yet every day feels almost identical to the last. Slowly, life becomes less about growth and more about survival, paying bills, managing problems, getting through the week, trying to avoid disappointment. Somewhere along the way, dreams become smaller, energy becomes weaker, and hope begins to fade in ways that are difficult to notice at first. For many people, survival mode feels normal because it happens quietly. Nobody wakes up one day and decides to settle for less. It happens little by little. A few failures create fear. A few painful experiences create doubt. A few bad moments convince people that maybe life simply works better for others. Soon, blame begins to take control. Some blame bad luck. They believe success belongs to people who were fortunate enough to meet the right people or be born into better situations. Others blame circumstances. They tell themselves life would improve if they had more money, more support, or fewer responsibilities. Some place blame on other people, family, partners, society, or people who disappointed them in the past. Then there are those who blame their past completely, carrying old pain like a permanent label that defines every future possibility. At the same time, many people quietly wait. They wait for motivation to suddenly appear. They wait to feel confident enough to start. They wait for fear to disappear. They wait for life to become easier. They believe change will happen when conditions finally feel right. Yet weeks slowly turn into months. Months quietly become years. The painful part is that many people begin realizing time keeps moving even when life stays the same. Goals stay unfinished. Dreams stay delayed. Promises made to themselves remain broken. The hardest trap has very little to do with failure. Failure hurts, but it also teaches. The deeper trap happens when somebody begins believing that struggle is permanent. A dangerous thought slowly enters the mind and begins to feel true. This is just how life is. This is just who I am. Nothing ever changes for me. Once that belief takes hold, people stop trying before life even gives them another chance. They begin seeing themselves as victims of circumstances, believing life simply happens to them instead of believing they still have power over how they respond. At some point, a quiet question begins to shape the direction of every person's life, even when they barely notice it. During painful moments, disappointment, failure, rejection, heartbreak, financial struggles, or unexpected setbacks, many people ask the same question again and again. Why is this happening to me? It feels natural. It feels human. When life becomes difficult, the mind immediately searches for reasons to explain the pain. Yet there is something dangerous hidden inside this question. Over time, it quietly trains people to see themselves as powerless. It places all attention on suffering instead of growth. It turns pain into punishment and struggle into proof that life is somehow unfair. Yet there is another question, a much quieter one, that has changed the lives of countless people who once felt completely stuck. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" they slowly learn to ask something different. What is this trying to teach me? At first, the change feels small, almost too simple to matter. The situation stays the same. The pain may still exist. The challenge does not magically disappear overnight. Yet something powerful begins changing inside the mind. Suddenly, attention shifts away from blame and toward understanding. Instead of feeling trapped inside a difficult moment, people begin looking for meaning hidden inside the struggle. This shift changes more than emotions. It changes perspective. Problems stop looking like walls blocking the path and begin looking more like lessons waiting to be understood. Pain slowly becomes a place where growth begins. Failure stops feeling like proof of weakness and starts becoming feedback. A failed attempt becomes information. A rejection becomes redirection. A setback becomes preparation for something that requires greater strength. Many of the people admired for their resilience never escaped hard times. They simply learned to see difficult moments through a different lens. The truth is, strong people still struggle. They still experience fear, heartbreak, disappointment, and uncertainty. They still have moments when life feels overwhelming. Strength rarely comes from avoiding problems. Real strength grows when somebody learns how to think differently while facing problems. The strongest people in the world are rarely the people with the easiest lives. They are often the people who faced storms and slowly taught themselves how to grow through them rather than collapse beneath them. Still, something important begins to happen when this mental shift takes hold. A person starts responding differently. They stop asking why life feels unfair and begin paying attention to hidden opportunities for growth inside painful experiences. And this raises an important question. Why does this one simple shift feel powerful enough to change almost everything? The moment this mental shift begins to take root, something subtle but powerful starts changing inside a person. The first thing that changes is the feeling of powerlessness. Many people spend years feeling trapped by circumstances. They feel trapped by difficult jobs, painful experiences, financial struggles, rejection, mistakes, or things that happened long ago. Slowly, life begins to feel like something happening against them rather than something they still have influence over. That feeling creates frustration, anger, and hopelessness because it convinces people they are stuck waiting for something outside themselves to change first. Yet the moment somebody begins asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" something shifts. Responsibility quietly enters the picture. Responsibility can feel heavy at first because it removes excuses, yet it also gives something many people have been missing for years: Power. Real power begins the moment a person realizes they still control how they respond. Life may feel unfair at times. Circumstances may feel difficult. Pain may still exist. Yet there is something nobody can completely take away: the ability to choose a response. You may not control everything that happens around you, but you still control the meaning you give to the experience and the action you take afterward. Then fear slowly begins losing its grip. Fear controls many people more than they realize. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of making the wrong decision, fear of starting and failing again. This fear quietly keeps dreams trapped inside people for years. Many people delay action because they believe failure means something permanent. They believe one mistake proves they are incapable. Yet when failure begins to look different, fear also begins to change. Once failure becomes a lesson instead of proof of weakness, trying feels less dangerous. Suddenly, mistakes become part of growth instead of evidence of defeat. People stop waiting for confidence to magically appear before taking action. They stop overthinking every possibility. They stop waiting for the perfect moment because they slowly understand that growth usually begins before confidence arrives. Something else begins changing too. The mind becomes stronger. Difficult moments stop feeling as destructive as they once did. Pain still hurts. Challenges still feel heavy. Hard days still exist, yet struggle no longer feels meaningless. A difficult season becomes something to move through instead of something to surrender to. Life begins feeling easier, not because problems disappear, but because the way a person carries those problems changes. The same storm that once felt impossible slowly becomes something survivable when the mind learns how to stand differently inside it. There is an uncomfortable truth about growth that many people struggle to accept. Growth rarely feels exciting while it is happening. Most of the time it feels messy, frustrating, and deeply uncomfortable. People often expect transformation to feel inspiring, almost magical, as though life suddenly becomes clear and everything starts falling into place. Yet real growth usually arrives wearing the face of confusion, uncertainty, and discomfort. Change feels uncomfortable because it asks people to leave behind familiar habits, even the habits that quietly hold them back. Healing feels uncomfortable because it forces people to face wounds they spent years trying to ignore. Letting go of old beliefs, painful memories, fear, or self-doubt can feel exhausting. There are moments when progress feels invisible, and that silence makes many people question whether anything is changing at all. The difficult truth is that growth often feels harder before it feels rewarding. Learning discipline feels uncomfortable when comfort has been a daily habit. Building confidence feels uncomfortable when self-doubt has controlled the mind for years. Becoming stronger feels uncomfortable because strength is usually built during moments of pressure. Many people reach this stage and quietly give up because they mistake discomfort for failure. They assume something must be wrong because the process feels difficult. Yet discomfort does not always mean life is going in the wrong direction. Sometimes discomfort appears because life is asking somebody to grow into a version of themselves they have never been before. At times, life can feel unfair. Challenges arrive without warning. Plans collapse. People disappoint you. Dreams feel delayed. During moments like these, it becomes easy to believe life is working against you. Yet there is another way to see difficult seasons. Sometimes life is not punishing you. Sometimes life is preparing you. Preparation rarely feels gentle. It stretches patience. It tests faith. It exposes weakness so strength can slowly take its place. The struggle that feels unbearable today may quietly build the resilience, wisdom, or courage needed for tomorrow. Many people walk away from their goals too early because they misunderstand hard times. They believe struggle means failure. They believe difficulty means they are not capable enough. Yet the truth is far more human than that. People rarely quit because they are weak. They quit because pain convinces them progress is impossible. They quit because the road feels longer than expected. They quit because growth looks different than the version they imagined in their mind. Somewhere inside the struggle, many forget that becoming stronger was always meant to feel uncomfortable before it ever feels rewarding. Your life may never change overnight. Most real transformations rarely happen in one dramatic moment. They happen quietly, slowly, through small decisions that almost feel invisible at first. One better thought, one stronger choice, one different perspective, that is often where everything begins. Many people spend years waiting for the perfect opportunity, the perfect timing, or the perfect version of themselves to finally appear. Yet change usually begins long before confidence arrives. It begins the moment somebody decides to think differently about the life they are living right now. There will still be difficult days. There will still be moments when life feels heavy, confusing, or unfair. There will still be setbacks that test your patience and painful moments that make you question yourself. Yet something powerful begins to happen when your mindset changes. Problems stop feeling like proof that life is against you. Struggles stop feeling permanent. Fear stops controlling every decision. Slowly, the same person who once felt lost begins to see strength they never noticed before. And maybe one day, years from now, you will look back at this season of your life. The difficult nights, the disappointment, the confusion, the moments when everything felt uncertain. And maybe for the first time, you will finally understand something important. That season was never sent to destroy you. It was shaping you, teaching you, preparing you for a stronger version of yourself that you could not yet see. The struggle you hate today may quietly become the reason you grow tomorrow. The setback that frustrated you may become the lesson that changes your direction. The pain that once felt unbearable may one day become proof of how much stronger you became. Sometimes the hardest seasons carry the greatest lessons, but only for the people willing to learn from them. So starting today, stop asking, why is life so hard? Start asking, what is life trying to teach me? That one question may slowly change the way you see pain, failure, fear, and even yourself. Because sometimes one mental shift changes everything. If this video spoke to you in any way, take one small action right now. Like this video so more people can discover this message, and subscribe to our channel for more powerful ideas that can help you grow, think differently, and build a stronger life, one step at a time.